Hello, hello, and welcome to Girl Let's Agree to Disagree. Hey, everybody, how's everybody doing? We have a lot to talk about, and we have some very special guests. I'm so excited with these hosts that we have here, these guest hosts. So I am Jessica Milagros. We have Braden White, Hannah Chada, and Big Brother Drew. Hey, Hannah.
Hey.
Hannah Claire is actually going to be joining us shortly. She's having some technical difficulties, but now's a good time to let you all know. If you don't already, click like, subscribe, click to receive those notifications. Give us a like, send us some comments. Let us know you're here. We're really excited. We're going to be covering all of Celebrity Big Brother, which is going to be long but short. It's gonna be crazy. The schedule is a little insane if you haven't seen it.
Bust, another club, bust, great, another club, like
another
wow.
club.
It's
Go to sleep.
You know, I wasn't expecting us to get the cast list this fast. I thought maybe they would have waited till Monday or something, so they would give people less time to shit talk about it. But hey, we're really excited about it. Look, everybody's like chata.
Did you guys like how they released the cast list during Amazing Race? Are you guys Amazing Race people?
I try to be, but I have not been keeping up.
Yeah,
very that. I just waited for it to post on Twitter.
I've been watching so far. Mine is Lulu and Lola. I love the twins. They are just so cute. But I really wasn't watching this Wednesday, but I literally just got on because I wanted to see who was on. To be like, I think they sold it, right? Did. A lot of people did, and then they put the commercials in, like the first commercial in, and I was like, oh no, you shouldn't have done that. Now everybody's like getting off of Amazing Race. You should have just let them click. What was I going to say? So because we're going to be talking about these people, it was very interesting because as I was going into my Twitter feeds, I realized that people were like, these aren't celebrities, and I only know like one or two people, which really surprised me. So before I want to show the quick clip so that everybody can kind of see who we're working with. But from you all, how many people do you know?
I knew every single person except Misha Tate. And I didn't know Chris Kirkpatrick by name. I just knew him as like the fifth member of NSYNC. the one that no one knows.
Like the very fifth member.
He definitely gives he's giving very much Fifth and Forgotten.
Not Fifth Harmony.
But listen, I can say that because I came in fifth on BB23 and I was kind of forgotten. So from one Fifth and Forgotten to another.
You're like the girls that get it.
Hey, Hannah.
Hi.
Hey, Hannah.
Hey, Hannah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
We're excited, girl. Are you ready for this quick and fast month of just nonstop Celebrity Big Brother?
I've never watched Celebrity Big Brother before, so I'm pumped. I
so
like
good.
it. Kind of like fast tracked. I like that. I feel like it kind of eliminates some of the unnecessary filler days. I want it to be like fast drama every day. So
yes.
Agreed.
And I have a feeling that with this bunch of house guests, even though they might not be like the most well-known people ever, I think it's going to be a dramatic season. But also with Celeb BB, they never get A-listers or B-listers or people who are in their prime because those people are too busy with their lives. So it's typically like C-listers and D-listers or people that don't have like a ton of stuff going on unless, your name is Todrick Hall and you're going on tour next month, but you really wanted to do this.
Absolutely. So, wow. Someone just called Chris Kirkpatrick the pineapple from NSYNC. That's wild.
He had the dreadlocks back in the day, a bold statement for a white man in a group like that. But
interesting.
He did his thing though. I was a little bit of an NSYNC fan, so I salute him.
Yeah. So I love NSYNC.
So this is how we're going to do it, right? So since some of y'all don't know who we're talking about, I'm going to put it in the quick it's not even like 30 seconds of the intro that Celebrity Big Brother did. And then we're going to go by them one by one, and we will see. I want to know basically, well, if you all know little tidbits, if you know any information, we'll talk about that, because I know for sure there are quite a few house guests that do know each other, and I'm expecting for them to either work together and maybe even backstab. I know one has the pretty much, I mean, they know about four house guests. So that might be a powerhouse. That might be a powerhouse house guest. But let's quickly watch this quick video. Let's see if we can. Oh, you know what? Maybe we can't, because it's Paramount Plus. And okay, so we are not going to, I should have, sorry for the technical difficulties. I should have figured that out. It should be on YouTube, not on Celebrity Big Brother. Not on Paramount Plus. Yes, correct. So while I look for that, let's just start with we'll just start with Shanna Moniker. Okay, so Shanna Moniker.
Her last name's Mokler.
Mokler.
Wait, what?
Her last name's Mokler.
Really? I thought her last name was Moniker.
No.
Am I mispronouncing it?
No.
Just a bit.
Sort of.
You know that I don't follow her very much. I just know she was Travis Barker's ex-wife.
So she was Miss USA. Sorry, Mowgli's pushing me away. She was Miss USA. She actually was first runner-up, and then she became Miss USA because the girl who won Miss USA won Miss Universe. So, interesting little tidbit.
So she wasn't even the winner, technically.
No, technically, no.
Oh.
But she was remembered as being Miss USA because, like, people don't normally keep up with that stuff. So, like, she got to keep the title, but that's how she met Travis Barker, was like,
oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Then they had their own little show and everything.
Meet the Barkers. Yeah, I remember that.
Great show. MTV loved that show too, by the way.
Yeah.
So really interesting.
Time.
Really interesting with her though too is like she also, before she was with Travis Barker, she had a child with Oscar de la Hoya. So so that is Hannah's looking, Hannah Claire's like, what?
I didn't know this.
Yeah, that is yeah, actually if you go on Kourtney Kardashian's Instagram, you'll see all the Barkers there, the kids, and the oldest one is De La Hoya. So is not from, is actually Travis Barker's stepdaughter, stepdaughter who I think has known him since she was like 5 years old. So basically, like, you know, his bonus daughter.
Well, yeah. I'm interested to see if there's any kind of talk, just because of like their connection with the Kardashians, with her and Lamar.
Exactly.
So
I am ready for her to spill, or for him, for her to spill about
honestly both
Kardashian, because I feel like both of them are going to have a lot to say. And this kind of reminds me of when Omarosa went on. I think that was the first season of Celeb BB, and she just would not shut up about Donald Trump, and it was giving everything. I was like, more.
Big shout out to the Regular show.
Shout out to them.
They're watching.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Big D.
Hello.
Yes. So, one other tidbit too is that she also knows Carson Kressley. So, she had like a quick like show with him. It was like 2017 or so.
I mean, I'm like, Queer Eye.
After Queer Eye, before, I don't know. It was after, but you know, it was around that time.
Okay.
Well, in my pop culture research today, I found an article that said that when Travis and Shanna had one of their first breakups, Shanna like either tried to like pour a drink on Kim Kardashian or like something like that in a club because she was kissing Travis. So some tea for you today.
So I'm guessing she's not like.
Wait. I'm sorry. Repeat that. Wait,
Like,
Travis kissed Courtney or Kim?
Kim, like back in the early 2000s, at like a bar or something.
And she was there, and she
Shanna tried to like. Yeah.
On Kim.
So their stuff with the Kardashians goes back a long time.
Yeah.
So Shanna also, which is interesting because I kind of did a little digging, and Shanna follows Kenya more. She does like not follow anybody. She doesn't follow Carson. She doesn't follow anybody. The only person that she follows is Kenya.
Kenya Moore?
Yeah.
She was Miss USA.
Oh, well, yes, and that would make more sense. I'm not like into, or I'm not very well versed in the pageant world. So as we know, on my season, there were pageant girls that knew each other. So I know that the pageant world is very small.
Connected. Yeah.
Yes, and they're very connected. So I don't know. I'm thinking, well, if she does know Kenya, does that mean that she would know Cynthia Bailey? That would be an interesting. That would be an interesting thing.
Potentially.
Yeah, because wasn't Cynthia also, or she wasn't a pageant queen, but Cynthia's a model.
Yeah.
So
she did like a modeling
agency.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There are comments saying that she's a huge BB fan and a Survivor fan. So maybe she'd be an undercover BB fan. We have a lot of BB fans. So let's put a pin in her for now. Let's go ahead and talk about Cynthia Bailey. So she's a housewife, right? She's an Atlanta housewife. She was pretty much there from the beginning. She just left the franchise off to bigger and better things, I guess. And now Celebrity Big Brother, which is way bigger than Housewives.
I'm not the biggest Housewives person, so you guys let me know. But
same.
I've heard that she's actually the biggest of the celebrities in the house. Would you guys agree or disagree?
As of right now,
sorry, Hannah.
Maybe. Oh, sorry. So sorry, I didn't even hear you talking. Go ahead.
No, you're okay. Mine has like a lag, so you just go. You go.
I was just gonna say that out of the people that are there. Oh my gosh, this cat. Who are we talking about again?
No, she's not.
No, she's not. I mean, this is
Cynthia.
Public perception. This is
it's 100% subjective. I would say that as of now, Cynthia or Carson Kressley may be the biggest celebrity, but Chris Kirkpatrick or even like Chris Kattan was probably the biggest when they were in their prime. However, if we're looking at 2022, I think Cynthia is definitely one of the bigger ones because she was just on Atlanta, which is one of the longest running housewife franchises. And then she also just did Ultimate Girls Trip, which is one of the newer housewife franchises. So I'd say she's pretty big.
Okay.
Now, one thing about her is that she also knows Carson Kressley. Okay. She has done several like different types of events with him. They follow each other on Instagram. She also follows Todrick. So this is going to be an interesting thing of like seeing if that's something that they gravitate to. There's also Teddy Mellencamp, who she doesn't follow, who's also a housewife. However, she does follow Brandy, who was on Celebrity Big Brother one.
Well,
I mixed my housewives.
She was on the same cast with Candy, like for years. So and Candy's also done interviews before where she said that she thought Cynthia would maybe be good at this. Interesting. Cynthia,
I see it.
More boring one on the show. I never liked her storyline, but maybe that will fare well in the show as opposed to someone like Kenya, who was just like chaotic.
I'm thinking live feeds really because like here's the thing. It's okay. So I don't know if you all are in tune with like what's going on in pop news, but as of right now, it seems like she may be having some issues with her husband. her husband's name, the one that she just married. Like it's been a year.
Oh,
are you talking about Cynthia?
They're having issues.
You're talking about Cynthia. Or you're talking about
Cynthia Bailey.
Okay.
Yes. So it was like she kind of left Housewives. She's been married, like she started Housewives with one husband, marrying one husband, and she ended Housewives having another husband. And this one, he's been on a lot of different news. Like he has said that he has issues with her. So this is weird. Yeah, like he's been interviewed saying that he's currently having issues with her, which is really odd because this would be probably the most horrible time for her to actually leave him for 30 something days.
She can just get away from him.
I mean,
also that probably great for her. She said,
yeah,
let me go vibe for a month. I'll be back, babe. We'll do it later.
So as one of our followers, they're saying that there was rumors that he cheated, so there was always kind of like this thing. So they're kind of rocky. I don't know if she'll be talking about it on these live feeds. Who knows? That would be interesting.
Well, you guys all know that the house is therapy. So whatever you're going through, some time away to chat and have a few conversations.
Hannah said, "Pause, champ."
If anything, it inflicted more trauma on me. It was like the opposite of rehabilitation. Yeah. But it was fun. I loved it.
So let's go from one housewife to the other, Teddi Mellencamp. So
I don't know anything about this girl.
Me neither.
I ain't never seen this girl in my life. Are you serious? Shout out to that girl.
Wouldn't know a thing.
So from what I've read, because I mean I have known of her. I get Beverly Hills mixed up with the OC, but I believe she is a Beverly Hills girl.
She is, yes.
She's a Beverly Hills. So she has her own podcast right now with Tamra Judge. And she's very, very open about how she was fired from the Housewives franchise. Okay, like the girl, I've watched some of her podcasts. Like she is very opinionated, and she pretty much
she'll make good TV.
I think she'll make good TV. She is friends with Brandy as well. She's actually good friends with Brandy, it seems. So she will have that. She will have the insight of like maybe she will know what it's going to be like to be in the house. Whether she knows Cynthia, they don't follow each other. So that would be interesting to see if they come in and they'll be like, oh, let's have a Housewives alliance.
Yeah, I feel like when you go in there, like you find any excuse. You're like, oh, you have brown hair? I mean, I have brown hair. So maybe we could do something here.
Not the cookout part too. No, I was just gonna say, because I am a Bravo fanatic. I love Bravo. I love my Housewives. I have ever since I was like 11 or 12 years old, because I'm just a middle-aged woman at heart. But I was going to say that Teddi and Kyle are best friends. And Kyle did Ultimate Girls Trip with Cynthia this past season. Okay. And I know that Cynthia and Kyle basically get along with everyone. Like, I don't believe there was much tension between them. So if anything, Kyle Richards is their common link.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there was any pre-gaming that possibly happened between the two of them.
I would say 100%.
Oh, fully.
Yeah.
If they have any sort of connection whatsoever, especially from that like whole show, they did a whole show together with her best friend. Yeah.
And maybe recently not too.
Yeah. I heard that she has some like MLM, like multi-level marketing connect. Like she's either in MLM or something like that. And she sells some scammy weight loss shit. I don't know.
That's bad.
Not flat tummy tea.
Yeah.
It's essentially flat tummy tea, yes.
No. Someone knows me so well because they said I would be so pissed off. I hate companies like that. It's so bad.
Yeah, no, she has this like it's like a health and wellness retreat or like series of retreats that she hosts for women. But there was a whole scandal about it like last year or 2 years ago because I guess women were showing up and she wasn't feeding them.
Ooh, I'm sorry, what?
She literally said you're supposed to eat like 600 calories a day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That ain't enough.
Yeah, she was like severely restricting them. And I guess it like turned into this weight loss retreat, even though it was supposed to be about health and wellness and fitness. So that's
wow.
Teddy.
Okay.
That's Teddy. She's never been my favorite, but I don't know. If she made it to the end, I wouldn't care. If she doesn't make it far, I wouldn't care. I don't have much of an opinion on her.
Okay. Shall we go on to the next?
Yes. Not ranked one currently.
We'll go through the girls. So I'm gonna butcher her name though. Is it Mirai Nagasu?
Mirai Nagasu?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know her personally. Like, I stopped watching figure skating a while back. I left like Christy Yamaguchi days. So yes, she is an Olympic bronze medalist.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think 2 times, no, or 1 time. No.
2 times it seems.
Okay.
I mean, don't know much about her. Don't know if she is connected in any way. She might be kind of like the odd woman out trying to kind of get to know people.
I don't know. I feel like, athletes kind of stick together. So I think maybe there might be an athletic connection with her, Misha Tate, and Lamar Odom. Maybe, you guys know, like when you're in the house, working out is a part of that routine. So maybe when you get the little workout routine, you got a little workout alliance, but she seemed pretty well versed in the game. She knew up to last season. I think she even shouted out Frenchie in her Us Weekly interview as well. So I think, people that are familiar with the game and have a bit more background are definitely in an advantage, especially with Celebrity Big Brother. So I think she's going to do well, man.
Okay,
I think she'll do well as well. I was going to say, I think I read on Twitter that she was a guest judge on Drag Race.
I don't remember her, but if that's the case, then again, Carson Kressley wins. That's another.
Who just knows everyone.
I don't think Todrick was doing anything on 11 at that point.
I don't know if he was. He might have been choreographing.
I don't think they have a connection.
I mean, we'll put a pin on that one, but for sure Carson, because Carson is a regular judge on the show. So I'm sure that there will have.
She was also on Dancing with the Stars. A shout out to Adrian in the comments saying that too. So because of that Dancing with the Stars connection, that's also a Lamar Odom connection. Who else did that? I think even the
Carson Kressley, right?
Exactly.
Didn't he do Dancing with the Stars? Carson Kressley.
Yeah.
The social. Yes, the Mecca.
I know. And then the last of the women is Misha Tate. Now,
I know nothing
Misha
about her.
Tate, amazing athlete, UFC bantam fighter, tough girl. I think, and I think we've talked about like the alpha females having a bit of a disadvantage sometimes because once they take off the shirts or get into that competition mode, it's like, oh man, she's gonna whip ass. But hopefully her social game will be able to carry her through. But I know physically she's definitely going to be a huge threat in that house.
Wow. Okay, so we already have someone as Mariah is a winner, is someone's winner pick here. Okay. We'll go through winner picks after we talk about all of these, but that's an interesting choice, Madison. I would love to know a little bit more about that. I know that Misha Tate, she has over 2 million followers on her Instagram. She's a very, very well-known fighter. She has here's my thing, like, and I agree with you, Drew. Like, I think she's gonna be one of those alpha females, but she also has like 3 kids and like fiance at home. And I don't want to put that into play, but I think that does have a lot to do with how you feel inside of the house. And they're pretty small. They're pretty young kids. Like, I would be interested in seeing like how she moves, you know, if
how old
that's
is she?
Change her. That's a good question.
It's you guys, it's tough, you know, like, and especially if you have small kids, you really miss them, and that's always like a reason for people to kind of, you know, bow out early. I think it was Meta World Peace last season, I believe, or the season before, that, you know, was like, I just miss my family, I miss, you know what I mean? So that's definitely a part of it there.
Yeah.
Okay, this is
I just looked it up.
25.
She's 55?
35.
Oh, so she's one of the younger ones, right?
Yeah, she's young. Yeah.
So this is why I love our fans here. It says she's a UFC fighter podcaster. She had a bad relationship with an MMA fighter. She took 5 years off and came back. So, and I know that she also fought. She also fought Ronda
Rousey.
Yeah, she lost, but she played her. She boxed with her twice. So, and she wants to do a third time. So she's like, she's definitely.
She seems tough as nails. She definitely
she's
seems
no
like
joke.
I just don't know if that will intimidate a lot of the house guests, you know, because again, they look for any reason to get you out of that place.
True, and I think that with this in particular, with Celebrity Big Brother, it's not insanely physical. These competitions aren't going to be insanely physical. I don't think. I mean, athletes don't fare very well in Celebrity Big Brother houses. So it would be very interesting to see. She doesn't follow anybody that is remotely even
by proxy
that famous. Like she follows the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Guy Fieri. Like,
I mean, same,
but what did Hannah say?
Same.
Oh,
you know, so it would be very interesting to see if she's coming in knowing anything other than like maybe watching a season.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like she has these like super like reality TV pop culture connections the way that, like, even if the other ones don't directly, I feel like they have like a friend of a friend of a friend that can get them together, and she may be like the odd one out in that.
Did Robin do any of the casting for this? I feel like this list is very Robin-esque, like with former Lakers, UFC fighters, you know what I mean? I don't know.
You know, I don't know that, but I mean, I do know that she had posted about it. So if she posted about it, maybe.
I have no idea.
The owner, whoever owns the Lakers, is like a really big Big Brother fan, and that's why they've had people before on there. I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have no idea, but I also feel like Celebrity BB has kind of a prototype, or they have several tropes that they know they need to fill because they know what works. And I think they just reach out to a bunch of people to fill, you know, each niche.
Yeah,
I agree.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of rounds up the women. Let's get to the men. We have 6 males and 5 and 5 females. So first up is Todrick Hall. I know we have a lot to say about him.
I'm just kidding. I'm definitely rooting for him. He's my winner pick.
So as many would know, for those who are watching who might not know, yes, Todrick is a Big Brother fan. He is he is a super fan. He knows a lot of us. He has housed some of the BB cast. He is very, very good friends with some of the cast previous to 23, if you all can believe that. He knows Tamar Braxton, who is the former winner of Celebrity Big Brother. I remember he was at my cast party. That's where I met him. He's very inquisitive. He knows this information, and he knows, I think, the game.
I feel like he's gonna know it best. out of anybody.
Oh, 100%. He's an actual super fan. Not just one of those people who's seen like 3 to 4 seasons, but he's actually seen like every single season from 8 on. So he knows a lot about the game. He's very aware of his strengths and his weaknesses. And that to me is like the most important skill you can have coming into the house, because you need to know exactly how you're going to play up to your strengths and how you're going to compensate for what you might not be the best in. And he has really good self-awareness when it comes to that. So he isn't just my winner pick because he's my friend. He's my winner pick because I actually believe that he'll make it very far in the game. But also when you have a cast consisting of people who have never really seen the regular show, then it's hard to say how they're going to operate and maneuver the game. Like they could all be meta world pieces who don't know how to vote, who don't know what's going on, what house they're in, what game they're playing. And then at that point, it could be as simple as a dart throw, like land on Todrick, get him out the house. So I don't know. It's hard to say how this season's going to go.
It's going to be very interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Drew.
Todrick, I don't know Todrick, lovely guy, great skin, obviously amazing fashion, but very high energy. Sometimes the high energy personality types, or am I wrong with that? What would you describe as energy?
I think he can be because he's a performer by nature, but when you're just hanging out with him, he's very like, let me just sit and observe.
Okay, that could be good.
I think it's great.
Do you think, because you guys would maybe know, do you think that he is going to let on to how big of a fan he is?
No.
Unless he gets too eager. I said unless he gets too eager, because I remember this past season I went in as a super fan and I wasn't planning on telling anyone, but of course you get in there and you get super excited and you want to talk about the show, especially because you don't have any
other things you can really like relate or talk about.
Exactly. So his plan is to keep that to himself, but also he might get too excited, or other people might know that, you know, he housed the cookout for like a month after BB23. And then at that point, he's just going to have to admit that he's a big fan of the show.
That's very true. I mean, he has a lot of connections. Let's actually talk about his connections because he's coming in with knowing Carson Kressley. I mean, they've both done RuPaul's Drag Race, right? So he knows him. He follows also Cynthia Bailey. So he will know him. I'm not quite sure of anybody else off the top, but could easily, I mean, Cynthia, I said Cynthia Bailey, right?
Yeah.
Who else would he know?
He would definitely know Lamar as well too. I think the LA connect. No, okay, fair enough.
There's like a loose. Not me, just being his PR person.
No. Why don't you just tell us, Chada? Just tell us.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so let's see. Out of the girls, doesn't know Mirai, doesn't know Shanna, doesn't know Misha. No Cynthia through Candy and Tamar, but very, very loosely. It's not like they're friends. They just have that connection. And then who's the last girl that I'm forgetting? Teddy. Teddy doesn't know Teddy. Now in terms of the guys, has a loose connection to Chris Kirkpatrick because both of them are friends with Lance Bass. So there's that. So Chris knows Carson from RuPaul. Doesn't know Lamar, doesn't know Todd Bridges, and then there's one other guy that I'm forgetting.
The one from SNL.
Chris Kattan doesn't know him. So he basically knows like 3 people: Cynthia, Chris Kirkpatrick, and Carson.
Okay.
I feel like it's a group that he could vibe with, though, like even without a prior connection.
I think so as well, and I think that, like we talked about how Carson knows so many people. I think that with like having, you know, an ally that also knows so many people in the house, like that also bodes very well for you. You know? So I feel like that could help him a lot, you know.
Hi, Fudgy.
I feel like that might be given that he could have a good relationship with Carson, I think, and Cynthia, that might be a 3. That might be a very tight 3.
True.
Who did you say?
Cynthia and
Carson.
Cynthia, Carson, and
Todrick.
I think that would be a great final 3. And what's funny is as soon as the cast was released, I tweeted that I see those 3 and Shanna Moakler as the final 4 this season. That's kind of who my money's on.
Shanna and Cynthia could be like a 2, and then Todrick and Carson, and then they could like go together because they're very much like entertainment model fashion world, and they could all like relate on that. So,
and also like if Shanna decides to expose that she's a big fan of the show, she has that connection with Todrick. And I'm sure if she's a big fan of the show, she probably knows that the cookout stayed at Todrick's place. She probably knows a bit about him and his connections to BB. So I hope that, she doesn't use that to blackmail him. I hope that she uses that to kind of leverage a relationship with him. And then also, I think he just gets along with those types of people who are a bit more outspoken and not controversial, but dramatic. So I definitely see the 4 of them working together.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. So Dolores says she thinks that having a lot of connections in the house can work against you, right? Who are you going to be loyal to? And I think that this question would go now to Carson Kressley, because I think he is the person who is the most connected, and we can go to Carson, because Carson, for those who don't know, like he's queer. He's the original OG Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. He is a host he's a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race. He has been a judge on multiple Miss Universe pageants, right?
Yeah, so, he just does everything.
He knows, and he does everything, and he pretty much knows everybody. I not only did I say he has that connection with Cynthia and Todrick, he also probably definitely would know the housewives. There's no way that he doesn't know Teddy Mellencamp.
He definitely does.
So then he would know Shanna. Because
Shanna, he did a show. He did a show with Shanna, which is crazy. He did a show with her. But they don't follow each other.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, wasn't it like back in 2007 or something?
2017.
Oh.
Yeah, it was in 2017, which might as well be 2007 these days. But yes,
right.
You're correct.
Don't tell me.
I forget. But yeah, I mean.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I think since he's kind of like on the older, on that older scale, like maybe he does know Chris Kattan, and
probably I would not be surprised. But the thing about what's his face, Carson, is if I were him, I would definitely throw the first 3-4 competitions, kind of sit back, watch how lines are drawn in the house. But if he doesn't do that, and he, puts himself in a position of power and has to expose his cards right off the bat, that's going to ruin his game. And then he's going to be one of the first boots. Yeah. So it's all about like how he navigates that stop.
This will also be interesting as well, because as we said, he is, he's a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race. And as we know, Ross Matthews is also a judge. They are good friends. Ross was second place season 1 of Celebrity Big Brother. So he does know people that have played the game. Maybe he does know a thing or two about it. I'm thinking maybe if he does it, if he's not a super fan, because some people say that they're fans and they're not, they tell us to say we're fans. It's all whatever.
All smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. But if he is close to Todrick and Todrick has the strategy, it could be, maybe
dynamic duo, honestly.
Yes, it would be. It would definitely be.
Well, and I think like you talked about it too, Jess, that like on Big Brother or like these reality TV shows in general, like queer men tend to do quite well just because they do have like a lot of, I guess, like experience, you know, in the social aspect. And with, I wouldn't say, I guess more so with Todrick, I think is a very physical person. So I think that with Carson, you know, being able to maybe potentially, you know, manipulate the house or, you know, navigate through different social groups and Todrick being able to win things, I think that they really could, you know, clean up, honestly.
Yeah, clean house. That's what I'm thinking.
I agree. And I mean, and not to say anything, but it's, I mean, who believes in this? It's 6 guys, 5 girls. I feel like the men already have a leg up if they wanted to.
Why did they do that?
Huh?
Why did they do that? Is that normal?
It's always 11 people, so you're always going to have one more guy than girl / one more girl than guy.
Well, I mean, I don't know what's normal. Yeah, last year it was 12. So there was 12, but Anthony Scaramucci was considered not a house guest, but he was a house guest.
Yeah.
You know, people want to say he was the fake house guest, but I think he just quit early on, and they just, you know,
got him out of there, yeah.
And they just said, okay, he's gonna.
I like jokes. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, but there was 12 last year, and I honestly, I mean, but typically I would assume that they would do 11.
Hannah's being low-key assaulted by the cats back there.
No. I'm so sorry.
I got a question for y'all. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of a cookout hangover, so to speak. Do you see some of the Black House guests linking up? I was going to save it for the Lamar Odom thing, but do you think that the Black House guests will kind of connect, or is this more they got too much money, they're already rich, it's really more cutthroat?
Maybe if they actually are fans and watched the last season and saw that it worked well, maybe, I don't know.
That part.
Who are the Black House guys this season? It's Cynthia, Todrick, Lamar,
Todd Bridges.
Yeah, Todd Bridges. Yeah.
And who else?
I think they have they already have the numbers.
I think there's 4.
Okay.
4. Because there's already been a Black winner of Celeb BB. So I just don't see why they would do something like that. I feel like Cynthia might be down, but I'm not sure if Cynthia's even seen BB23 or knows anything about BB23. So I don't really see it happening this season. But who knows?
Yeah. So, I mean, let's talk about, now that we're going into him, Drew, we can talk about Lamar, because that was the next person on the list. So Lamar Odom.
Odom, 2-time NBA champion, played with Kobe Bryant, obviously married to Khloe Kardashian at one point, friends with Kanye West. I will say this about Lamb, guys. He's
Lamb?
Not Lamb.
You know, yeah.
He's on nickname basis.
You know, that's my guy. But I will say this: athletes are very pampered. You know what I mean? So to go through this experience, I'm not sure how much he can actually handle doing things on his own. I'm sure he's used to people making him breakfast, you know, doing his laundry and that sort of thing. So I'm not sure how he'll adapt socially, or how he'll kind of, you know, be able to kind of, you know, maneuver the day-to-day living inside the house. But I'm rooting for him. Very large man, 6'10". I don't know if they gave him a special bed, you know what I mean, or they're gonna push 2 beds together. But we'll see how he does. Rooting for you, brother.
I just remember being in middle school in that era of Kardashians and watching him when he was married to Khloe. And I do remember that even with all his struggles and their problems and things like that, I always liked him. I thought he was a really nice and seemed like a down to earth guy. So I'm interested to watch him, because I felt like he was still a rootable character on this show, even through me watching as an 11-year-old. I was like, you can do it.
Very that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. He's so likable. And I think his lack of knowledge about the game makes him that much more endearing, and hopefully in the house that makes him less threatening. But just because of his physicality and athleticism and stature, I almost feel like if the house guests know what they're doing, the second that he doesn't win something, he's going to find himself on the block, and he's probably going to get evicted if he doesn't self-evict first. So I don't see Lamar going very far. I definitely see him being one of like the first 4 boots.
I would probably agree with that. And Madison says Lamar is going to be the meta world piece of the season. And
stop comparing large black NBA players to each other, guys. We're all individuals, okay?
Well, here's the thing. Well, you said it, Drew. You said it. They're pampered. And if meta was pampered, like, let's get real. Lamar is definitely hella pampered.
NBA players and most athletes are like routine people. So this is definitely a huge shift to his routine, and it might not be a shift he's actually prepared to take on. But he says he needs the money, so if he needs the bread, come on, brother.
Yeah,
he said it to Us Weekly.
Oh shit!
I feel like with Lamar, like it can either go like either way, because I feel like if he is very naive to the game, then I feel like he will be very easily manipulated, and therefore I think that can be very beneficial to people in the house. Also, I mean, if you're going to go to the Final 2 and you're going to sit next to someone that literally knows nothing, doesn't really know what's going on, that is very appealing to people, especially if there's a lot of super fans in the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I just see, like, with the history, like, look, I'm actually not for him being on the show, and I will tell you why. Just being in the house, knowing things that happen in the house, knowing the mental stress that goes on in the house. I don't know Lamar, so obviously this is just my, just my perspective of his history, because if people know the history, they know why Chloe divorced him. He has had some issues. He has an addictive personality. These issues just kind of grow in a space where all you have is yourself to think about everything. So I would just, I don't know if like I'm hoping and have faith in production that they did their homework and they took a lot of, just mental, that they just took care of everybody's mental well-being before going inside of that house, because it seemed just from public perception that he was having that he had issues like that in past. So
that's right. That's a very valid concern.
Yeah, and this is just me on a personal concern, because let's get real, y'all. Like, these are people. Like, we're talking about them like this is just another reality show, but these are not like fake scripts. This is not a script of how they're going to act. We're going to be watching these lives, and we're going to be hearing stories. I would be very surprised. I mean, like, I'm really excited to just like listen in on these live feeds and hope that we get some extra tea about the background or who knows who or what happens. I know a lot of people were mad that we don't get first week feeds, but I think that it makes sense that we don't get first week feeds, because even though these are celebrities and they would know how to deal with media and cameras, a lot of these might be reality stars that get put in a scripted scene, and it's a lot of take and the camera's off, cameras on, cameras off, everything's edited. Like, this is just them getting used to just saying whatever the hell they want. Maybe not people that they know have signed disclosures, to get mentioned. There might be a lot of things. So they feel like that week.
And I feel like they are celebrities in the sense where they are used to having a lot of control over what gets put out and what gets said about them. So I can understand them not having, week 1 feeds where they made us ramble and be like, oh, they'll just edit it out. Like, it's no problem. But it's like, no, girl, it's in there. Everyone's going to see it.
Exactly. And just like Christina said, would Shanna and Lamar even be able to talk about the Kardashians?
Exactly.
Like, are they? No, probably not. Probably when they're locked in the HOH room. That's when they're going to start talking about the Kardashians. I want. Think? Oh, absolutely.
Oh, they all sign NDAs.
Let's talk about what happens in the HOH room.
No. I mean, like, you don't think that they're going to be allowed to talk about them on the live feeds, because Omarosa talked about President Trump freely.
I think Kris Jenner is really quick with that shit, yo. So I think she's definitely going to be like, no, that's a lawsuit.
And I agree with Molly. I think it depends if they're under NDAs. The devil works hard, but Kris
Jenner
works harder. And I agree with that. I agree 1000% with that statement. And like,
I would say that the Kardashians PR team is miles ahead of whoever has ever done Donald Trump's ever.
No, this is correct.
Yes, they are definitely watching this season for both Khloe and Kourtney.
But Jay just said Kris wants all the attention she can get, which is true. And then also from the perspective of the network, the more Lamar and Shanna talk about the Kardashians, they know that people are going to tune into the live feeds, into the episodes just to see them discuss that topic. Yeah. So I feel like if CBS can, they definitely won't try to put a stop to those conversations.
I mean, I could see them still talking. I think they just may talk vaguely. Like, I had a very famous ex-wife, and
yeah. Well, also,
that's what I'm saying.
Lamar doesn't have like bad feelings towards them. Like, he's publicly, when Tristan has cheated on Khloe, he's publicly basically been like to him, like, what is wrong with you, etc. And
his Lam Lam
like begged for her back, essentially. So I don't think he's gonna be like talking trash while he's in there.
So he's shooting his shot, trying to get it, it back.
I think he's gonna be like, "Hey, Khloe, if you're watching the live feeds, like, this is his chance to like."
Not him shooting a shot.
every shot is him talking to the cameras for Khloe,
trying to get Khloe back.
Khloe's looking good though. I don't blame him. Let him, let the brother get back where he used to be. Come on now.
That's why she had that revenge body, That was the revenge body aspect. Okay. So anything else on Lamar before we go on to the next? No. Okay. So I was very surprised a lot of people didn't know this one. Todd Bridges. So
he's old.
Whoa, Hannah. Easy, Hannah. Come on now.
Yeah, I don't know this man either. Shout out to this man.
I'm so sorry to this man. But if I see this man at the street, I would never know this man.
Out of everybody here, and people who are watching, please let us know yes or no. Who knows Todd Bridges? Oh hell! Are you serious?
Not all the Gen Zers.
We're literally all Gen Z. Like, all of us were born in what, 98, 99, 2000.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You're 15 years old.
But he's also like, even for us, yes, we're a little old too. But like, he was before our time as well. Like, Different Strokes was like, early 80s, we might have been like, 4 or, something like that. So
yeah, but then that would be like a nostalgic show for y'all. Like, for us, we watch Friends because, it's like before our time. But like,
cool.
I'd be like, what you talking about, Willis?
Exactly,
do you even
Dolores.
say that? That's his line. That was his line. Do you ever hear anybody saying, what you talking about, Willis? No,
he was Willis. He was Willis.
Can't say I do, babes. Can't say I do.
Okay. Todd Bridges is an actor. He's an actor best known for Willis Drummond, right? So he was in I can't even
Different Strokes.
He's in Different Strokes.
And Everybody Hates Chris, right?
Everybody Hates Chris. He yes.
Who was he in Everybody Hates Chris?
That's a good question.
Not Chris.
Not Chris.
No, he was
everybody that hates Chris.
He was everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he was a child actor, so like, I mean, coming out of that, he's also been on a Celebrity Rehab. He is I'm not going to say new, but he is I was told he was very religious, so he's kind of like maybe has found.
Oh my god, he was so cute when he was little.
Yeah. Oh, you're just now.
Yeah. Damn, this is an old show. Look at his outfit.
I mean, he definitely has had a lot of hardships. He's the cutest. He is yes, probably the oldest.
Okay.
He's 56 and he's a Gemini man.
I think Cynthia's almost 60.
Yeah,
if not
Cynthia
60
would be around that age
already. Yeah, she looks incredible.
I was like, wait, are you serious?
She's always looked like 15 years younger than she's ever been. Like,
oh, never mind. She's 54. She's 54. So Todd Bridges would be the oldest. I
think Todd, out of all these, might have a little bit harder time connecting in terms of. Well, I mean, I think people in the house definitely know who he is, so they might kind of fan out a little bit because that was, you know, a show that was a very, very big show.
Did you see what? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, did you see Cynthia's interview answers where they asked her what her or who her first celeb crush was?
And it was Todd.
And she said, "Yeah, it was Todd Bridges."
Come on now.
Isn't that crazy?
No? Like, does she know?
No, I don't think she knew that Todd Bridges was going to be in the house. I think he might have been like a very last minute addition just because I didn't see him on any of the spoilers.
That's so cute. Aww.
Right?
There's
so
definitely
now they're going to be in
some
this house.
There's definitely going to be some fan moments. And the thing is true that he is good friends with Kim Fields. And y'all probably know her from Housewives. You probably don't know her as a child actress.
Tootie, right?
They did not like
Kim Fields. Yes. Huh?
They did not like Kim Fields. Like,
I don't think Cynthia had a problem with her, right?
No, I don't think personally. I feel like she was probably the one that got along with her the best. But as a whole, Kim, from what I remember, didn't fare well.
She didn't fit in.
Show.
Yeah. So I do think that there might be a connection maybe between Todd Bridges, you know, and Cynthia just because of Kim Fields. Maybe that'll give them something to talk about.
I think Lamar and Todd will hook up too. I think that's going to be like a good little romantic relationship going on there. So
I could see.
Well, maybe if that's the case, then the celeb barbecue will form.
Not the celeb barbecue.
Not to guarantee a black winner, but if you think about it, Lamar and Todd, I could definitely see those two working together. What if Todd and
Cynthia, for sure.
Cynthia decide to link up because of their connection through Kim Fields, and then you have Cynthia and Todrick. So it might just be by the luck of the draw that the 4 black celeb house guests end up working together.
Plus, you know, Lamar's like big and clueless too. So I think hopefully, you know, they bring him into the fold and say, "Hey, man, roll with us. We'll try to keep you safe and let you know if people are talking about you." You know.
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of like, you know, at least brotherhood or sisterhood in terms of like let's look out for each other, right? Is Todrick down with the barbecue?
Absolutely, the celeb barbecue. Yeah, I definitely.
The celeb
the celeb BQ.
BQ.
The CBQ.
The
celeb BQ. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. No, I definitely see any of those people being down. They might just not feel like it's necessary. But then again, when you look at who's connected to who, they might accidentally end up working together. Like not even to guarantee that a black person wins, but just because that's who they naturally gravitate towards.
Yeah.
The CBBQ. Yes.
All right.
CBBQ.
Tweet that out, yo. We got something.
You heard it here first.
So now we have Mr. Chris Kirkpatrick, as Chada said, the 5th of the NSYNCers. The
fifth and forgotten.
Damn.
I would have had no idea. Never.
Right?
Really?
I didn't even know that there was I didn't even know that there were 5 members of NSYNC. I really just thought it was JC, Joey, Lance, and JT. Like I did not know. Was he actually in NSYNC or was he like the wild?
No, he wasn't.
He got the doll and everything.
He got his own little bobblehead and his own collection figure.
But did he actually sing? Was he like the Louis of One Direction? You know how Louis never sang?
Yes,
was he like the Louis?
He was like the AJ of Backstreet Boys. Actually, I was told that they had beef because they dated the same girl at one point,
and because they were both fighting to see who could be more forgotten.
Not even though people knew who AJ was. Like,
okay, so AJ won.
Hannah said put some respect on AJ's name. She said put some respect on AJ's name.
He was the dancer. He was like a really good dancer of the group.
Hannah's team AJ. Yeah, and AJ almost won Dancing with the Stars like 2 seasons ago.
He was great at it.
Oh yeah, he's
but
a phenomenal performer.
This isn't about AJ.
Whatever his name is.
It should be. They got the wrong boy band.
Patrick.
Wait, pause, champ.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Didn't in his Us Weekly interview say that he stands some? No, I guess stands, but he's a fan of some not so popular artists.
The Lego head, yes.
Not the Lego head. Not the Lego head.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting that I was on the show and I'm not just a fan speaking my mind.
You're not
but
a
also,
you are no longer anonymous. And
I really I sometimes tweet about Mickey and Christmas because I just like them so much. But yes, what's his face? Kirkpatrick. Fifth and Forgotten in his Us Weekly. So sorry, he's gonna get out of the house and hopefully not see this. But
this is going to be an Us Weekly article tomorrow.
Yeah,
Hannah, three-star Hannah Chada slams Chris Kirkpatrick.
Oh no,
Sharon Tharp, you know where to find me.
Shout out Sharon, yo, she's amazing.
No, Sharon Tharp really is the best, but
she is
icon, legend, star.
Exactly. But back to Fifth and Forgotten. In his Us Weekly interview, he said that he loves Jackson Mickey, or he really liked Jackson Mickey.
Because they're both Nashville people, apparently. They're both from Nashville.
That's not a good enough reason.
Literally, he said, I love him because he's a guy. Honestly.
I went to college.
And like,
I love that this is my season and y'all are reading him for me. That's all I care about.
Well, because I was actually looking forward to watching Kirkpatrick play. Since he's also a super fan, or at least he claims to be a super fan. So I thought that like him and Todrick would be the most knowledgeable going into the house. And I don't know, I was kind of hoping that him and Todrick would find that common ground and work together. Plus I love NSYNC. But as soon as I heard him say that he likes Mickey and, you know, Mickey's one of his favorite players, I was like,
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, 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 bye. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I had the same. I was thinking, oh, like Lance Bass, and he's actually my favorite NSYNCer. But when I was like, okay, so he's in the know, and then when he said the whole liking He Who Shall Not Be Named, I was like. What? He must be a casual because there's just no way. Like, so now you are no longer a super fan. You have to be a casual. I don't know many super fans that would.
But here's the thing. I was also a casual, and I just, despite the fact that CBS gave Mickey a good winner's edit, there were just certain things that they could not hide from the public because they were an integral part of who Mickey is and how he played the game. So it was definitely obvious to me as a casual that Mickey was trash and still probably is. So if he did actually watch the show and not just clips, I'm just confused as to why he likes him.
I am too, because I mean, this was the season that Ovi was on, obviously, and even like my grandparents who are watching only because of Ovi were like, yeah, we don't like that Mickey dude, like he's not good. Like they would call me and be like, he's not nice, and I'd be like, I know.
And they are also from Tennessee, are they not?
My grandparents, yes.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Future house guests, we definitely judge you on who you kind of shout out in your articles leading up to the interviews and stuff. So
yeah, it gives me like maybe he just saw like winners and just decided.
I think that he said recent winner. Where is he from? Nashville. Perfect. That's the one.
I hope that's what happened. Which in that case, I will take back my comments about the Fifth and Forgotten. But if he did actually watch the show, because I did hear that he was a super fan. Like even before the cast was released, then I'm confused.
If I'm not mistaken, or was that Joey? I'm not even because I remember when we got out of the house, Lance and another NSYNCer
It was Joey. It was Joey.
Ended up meeting up with the 6 shooters, and yeah, so Lance is good friends with Holly, and so yeah, all because of that, I would not have even thought that Chris would say this man's name, just because, you know, like Holly didn't even say his name. Like, you know, it just makes no sense. Yes, he did give me PTSD, Molly. Yes, I do have much PTSD from those individuals.
Somebody said in the comments that he said he likes Ian Terry too. How are you going to put Ian Terry and Nikki in the same answer?
Yeah, or even like Xavier and Jackson, or like DX and Jackson.
No, it gives me I watched parts of 21 and 22. That's what it screams. It screams.
I hope that's what it is. I hope that's all it is.
So I would be very interested in seeing like this gameplay coming from this man. But we shall see. You know, maybe he will be 5th place. You know, since he is fifth
and forgotten.
That's pretty far in there. I can't lie.
That is. I mean, but there's only 11, so that's really kind of mid. You know,
that's true.
Jessica, 5th place is great. 5th place is the best place to be in.
In a group of 16 house guests, not 11. I mean, 11's a little easier. Okay, and then we have our final, which is Chris Kattan. A lot of people didn't know him, but he is pretty legendary. Yeah. I didn't like how he introduced himself, because he just said, "You might know me from some movies," and it's like, dude, are you serious? He's been
in a lot of movies, a lot of Adam Sandler movies, obviously Night at the Roxbury, SNL fame in the early 2000s, I would think. So, you know,
Infamous Mango, like, yeah, he is a very memeable. He's kind of one of the greats, I would say, in terms of that SNL cast back then. So he's definitely a comedian. He gave me really weird vibes, though. How do you feel?
Yeah, I would agree
Tom
with you.
Green vibes, maybe.
Not Tom Green vibes. Not Tom Green vibes. I like. I don't know. He felt sad, or
just like uncomfortable.
Yes, like he wasn't gonna be funny in the house. Like, he's a funny guy, but he's not gonna be funny. He gave me,
he was just nervous.
Joseph, he did definitely give me First Boot vibes. I feel like someone who probably wouldn't be able to adjust.
Yeah.
Just me. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I just like literally what the vibe was.
I would completely agree with you. Yeah.
Like, I have no information on this man other than what he's done.
Besides his IMDb account.
Yeah. Besides this Wikipedia page. I've seen. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, after you, Hannah.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Well, I think funny guys have the opportunity to kind of, win people over. So if he's funny or awkward, or maybe makes really good breakfast, there's an opportunity for him to kind of slide in there and find his groove in the house.
Yeah, I would agree with you. With Chris Kattan and Todd Bridges both, I've definitely seen their faces prior to Celeb BB, but I didn't know them by name. But with Chris, he seemed very uncomfortable and nervous during his
awkward,
interview. Yeah, so I don't know if maybe that was pre-show jitters. Maybe he finally realized what he's getting himself into. I don't know what that was about. But I could definitely see him going home first, or even Misha Tate or Teddy. I think it's going to be one of those 3.
Teddy. Interesting. Why would you think Teddy?
Teddy, how do I say this nicely? I think she has a very
she's abrasive.
She seems abrasive.
Yeah. Maybe not abrasive, but her personality is most definitely not frictionless. I think wherever she goes, there's friction.
That's a very PC comment. That's a very
exactly. I'm trying to be cerebral here, but
cerebral.
I don't see her being able to form connections with the other people in that house quickly. And I think for that reason, she could be viewed as expendable, as being on the outskirts. So I think for the first HOH, if she doesn't win, a very easy option.
Like, just throw Teddy out, no one's really vibing with her.
See, exactly. Here, and hey, Couch Potato Queens, if you don't follow them. They have a YouTube channel. They also recap a lot of reality shows. Said Teddy will be protected by Cynthia. And I see that because I could see the house, maybe the housewife bond of some sort. If Cynthia has the connections, maybe she'll see Teddy as a number.
Well, here's what I'm thinking, because I think Cynthia and Teddy are probably the most obvious duo that they would assume is working together, even if they don't really know each other, but because they're from the same franchise. I think that everyone's just going to presume that they're a duo from the jump. So if neither of them wins HOH, I could see them getting put on the block together. And I do think that Cynthia would stay over Teddy. That's kind of my
very fair
foreshadowing.
That's pretty good to call there.
Thank you so much, Couch Potato Queens. Thank you.
I feel like it could be a good opportunity if Cynthia goes into this and realizes that this could be an opportunity for her to distance herself from Teddy and be like, we're not working together. I don't want anyone else to think we're working together. And maybe she could kind of like draw that line in the sand early if she didn't like her, but maybe she will. I don't know.
I mean, if they were smart, they would have probably had that conversation before going into the house. Like, okay, we're going to pretend that we aren't working together, but I'm going to try to look out for you. And you're also obviously going to try to look out for me. But I just think that because they're from literally the same show, they could be sworn enemies. And I think people would still assume that they're working together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unfortunate for them, but
true.
Okay, so I guess that's the 11. So I guess we will go around and talk about top picks and first boots. Who has to go first? Ooh, Chana, since you started, how about you tell us, even though you kind of summed it up?
Yeah. Okay, so in terms of first boot, I'm thinking Teddy, Chris Kattan, just because he doesn't seem like he wants to be there. So he might even volunteer to go on the block. Who knows? I could honestly see Lamar doing the same thing. Or if he doesn't win, they might be like, he's the strongest threat in this house. He's so he tall. Has the best physicality here. Yeah, let's send him home. And then I could see the same thing happening with Misha Tate. Like I believe Hannah Claire mentioned, or Jessica, one of you said that athletes don't typically fare well on a show like this, because the competitions aren't that physical and it's all about your social game and your strategy. And sometimes you do have to hold back in the game of Big Brother. And I think athletes are naturally programmed to do the opposite. And that's why they don't always do the best. So for that reason, I see Lamar, Misha, Chris Kattan, or Teddy going home first. And then I guess that brings me to my winner's picks. I don't think that Kirkpatrick will make it far. I don't think that, oh my gosh, there's one more person I'm forgetting. Oh, no, I said Misha. Okay, so I think those are going to be like bottom 5. And then for top 6, I definitely think it's going to be Todd, because he seems very chill. I don't think people are going to be threatened by him for the same reason I see Cynthia making it far. Plus, I think that Cynthia will be able to solidify those social relationships with people. I see Todrick making it far because of how well he knows the game. I see Shanna making it far for the same reason. And then Carson's just going to be like the social butterfly in the house. He's everyone's connection to everyone else. And if he plays it right, I think that could get him to the end. I almost see him playing a similar game to Ross Matthews, but with a lot less knowledge of the game. And then I can't talk. I'm so sorry. I'm really rooting for Mirai Nagasu. She was so adorable in her preseason interviews. So I hope that she makes it far. And obviously my winner's pick is Todrick. But if not Todrick, then I'm cheering for Cynthia, Shanna, or Mirai.
Oh, wow.
I've thought about this.
I'll hop in here off this one. But,
yeah.
I think it's probably going to be a white male going home first. simply just because of the energy and kind of the way the house is kind of set up. Either my boy from NSYNC going bye first, or Chris Kattan simply because I'm not sure where he is going to be fitting in socially with everyone in the house as well. Hannah's choice of the figure skater being in the top, I think she might be my pick to win, or Cynthia Bailey. Definitely rooting for Todrick, but I feel like Todrick's got too much fan support. And I think someone in the chat talked about that Shannon Elizabeth effect of kind of just being too well versed in the game and maybe a little too comfortable in the house, which might be his downfall. But hey, rooting for everyone to do their best.
Okay, Brayden.
I would say I definitely agree with both of you. I think my like top picks would either be like Mariah or Cynthia or Todrick or even Carson. I do think that they will. I just feel like with celebrity, I feel like it's a lot more so social based than physicality wise. You know. And I feel like as long as you're able to honestly just talk to people and be able to really make them feel like you're their best friend, or you know that you really get along with them, I think that you bode very, very well. And I think that's why I also think that like Chris Kattan may, although he is like a comedian, I just know some people are like, you're just like, you're funny, but like your jokes don't land for me. Like, you know, like you just gotta go. Which I could see that being his downfall. Also, just from his interview, I mean, who knows? He could be our sleeper that we didn't know. But I just think just from his interview alone, I think that he will have a harder time just like connecting with everyone in the house. Personally.
I would agree with you, yeah.
Okay. Hannah.
Yeah.
Claire.
You guys have basically said it. I really think that like that solid 4 is who I'm really thinking is going to do well, which is Shanna, Carson, Cynthia, and Todrick. Yeah. So I really think one of them will be it, just because I think that somewhere in that group, there's someone who has enough connection, enough knowledge, enough social skill. And I think to me, it's like a toss up of how the other pieces fall for which one of them will do well. So it's just kind of like, I feel like all of them could do well, but it just depends on what the other people are like and how receptive they are. Agreed. It's going to be Chris Kattan or whatever other. I just don't think
Chris Squared.
Yeah, because it's just like
it's one of the Chris's.
I don't really know. Like, to me, they don't stand out, and I feel like that's what's going to happen is they're going to get in there and they're going to be like, okay, well, I've talked to you, I like you, but I don't really know anything about him, and I don't recognize him. So that might be a bad thing. To me, the figure skater is the wild card.
Yes.
I forgot her name. I'm sorry.
Mariah.
Yeah, she's the wild card to me. I don't feel like I know enough about her. The other 4 that I like said I like, I feel like I have enough reason behind to validate that. But she, to me, is like, I could see some strong gameplay being made, and she seems like a cool person. So I think she'd get along with people, but I don't know. I'm putting her in the middle. That's where she is for me right now. And then everybody else, I don't care. I don't know.
Everybody else in the middle.
I don't know. I don't care. Did you guys see it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jessica.
Go ahead. What was that?
On Twitter, someone was like, oh, there are 2 Chris K's in the house. So the Chris K that gets to keep his name is going to make it to the end, and the other one's going to be first boot.
Yep.
Like the one who goes by like CK or like Coco or like Kirk. Like, he's going to be the first one.
Not gonna go.
Yeah, I kind of agree with this, and you know what, I actually agree with all of you, but just to say, I think like my top winner pick is Carson, hands down. Like, love me some Todrick. I do feel like big brother like super fans do tend to go hard. The thing is, it's you don't want to. You don't want to go hard going into the house, but when you go into the house, it's a completely different story. Everything's like, you just forget everything you know and you become yourself. And then like, I would be very interested to see how much Todrick could really get that under control and not let everybody know, because a thing in Big Brother is also when you know that everybody else is a fan or everybody says they're a fan, then the true super fan comes out, and then you're always talking about Big Brother, and then you're talking about different seasons, and then you're talking about that. And I think that happened a lot with you, Hannah, on your season. Like, you couldn't go under the radar because everybody knew that you knew too much.
I was so excited.
Because you were so excited.
I just got way too excited.
But that's what happens. You go in and you're just like, you just get so
you get very enveloped in the game.
Yeah, you get very, very much. So I think that might be Todrick's downfall. But I do love that Carson has so many. I mean, it's pretty much his to lose, in my opinion. He just is so connected to absolutely everybody. It would be very interesting to see if maybe he kind of plays like a low, like little rat game, because he did kind of mention that he was gonna kind of deceive and do these types of things. So he has the ability to really make someone feel like they're his number one, and they will believe it because he has those connections. So if he can have like these people not talk to each other, that would be very interesting. Second pick would be Cynthia, because I think she's right in and around the same range. Like, she has enough people where she could probably make some really good alliances. If Carson and Cynthia team up, that's it. Like, it's done. I think that would be an amazing, like, relationship, that alliance right there. With Todrick kind of sprinkled in, hopefully, that would be a great 3 for me. I think that Mariah is definitely kind of like that wild card. I think that she is small, and she plays that small role well. And when I mean small role, like, it's just kind of like that, I want to take care of you, you're so cute type. And those go very far in a game like this.
Who are we talking about?
Mariah, like, little figure skater, younger.
I think that's like women in general, especially women in sport, are like constantly underestimated or like undermined or, looked over, glanced at. So I feel like, since she is, a bronze medalist, I feel like that's something that she's very used to. And I feel like she probably knows very much so how to navigate that and use that to her advantage.
Yeah. And then my first boot is going to go to either Chris Kattan, or I'm going to say Misha Tate. And I say Misha only because, again, we're at odds here. There's 6 men, there's 5 women. I don't know what the men are going to be thinking. If they say, let's stay male strong, let's vote out a girl. If the girls decide we need to get rid of one, I feel like Misha would be the one to go, because she's the more obvious, like, physical threat. Yeah. I don't know if she's going to be, she screams alpha male to me, alpha female to me. So maybe, in her direction, maybe when she talks, maybe they might not.
Yeah,
She
might find comfort with the guys, though. I'm thinking maybe that might be
true.
Her thing, like little Christmas. I know you hate Christmas, Hannah, but just kind of hanging a bit more with the gentleman energy,
Yeah, and someone said that Misha gives them low gameplay, if that, I see that too. Yeah. And if that's the case, that's a chaotic mess. And I'm not gonna play. I'm gonna actually. Oh my God, I'm going to erase that because I don't want her coming after me.
What was I going to say? I don't really see the guys this season aligning themselves. Like, you have Carson, you have Todrick, you have, who else? Oh my gosh.
These are not like
both Chris's.
Yeah, you have Chris, who's a comedian. You have
Lamar,
Chris, who's a boy bander. You have Lamar. You have, who's the last guy?
What is that?
Different Strokes.
A cat.
Different Strokes guy.
Oh, Todd Bridges. Yes. So that's just like a very random combination, and I don't really see them working together.
Yeah.
I agree.
Hey, little baby.
It would be a very interesting. I like, Drew, what you said about Misha kind of finding that group with the men, because now I kind of see it too.
But I don't know, just because
The men aren't very bright. I don't think they're very bright to kind of see
that.
Yeah.
But I think Misha Tate has a very dominant personality, and I don't know if that really bodes well with everyone, because you have to remember that they are celebrities and everyone has their own ego and they want to be treated a certain way, and I feel like Misha Tate simply won't care.
That's another thing. It's like I don't know, maybe I know that you said Teddy Mellencamp kind of being first, one of the first boots chata. Like I'm wondering if people might think that too, just because she might be kind of like Brandy and people like always asking like for wine and and just being very extra, although she doesn't give me those vibes.
I wouldn't say she's extra. Teddy's very like minimalistic, down to earth. She's from the Midwest. She's from Indiana, so she doesn't live this like extravagant Beverly Hills lifestyle, even though she lives in Beverly Hills currently. But she's just, I don't think she's a lot of people's cup of tea, and for that reason I feel like she'll be on the outs. But someone brought up an interesting point in the chat and said, I could see the women dominating this season. And I think the women have a lot more similarities and connections than the men do. So I could actually see that happening.
I think so.
That's a very interesting thing. Oh, well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where all of this goes. So the first episode is going to be on Wednesday, February 2nd, and it's going to start. I heard it was a 3-day premiere or a 3 days.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes, so it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yay for my social life. I'm so excited. And then we will be back here recapping. Which one of those days we do not know, because I don't know. There's too much stuff on my plate. I apologize.
We will let you know.
Always. We always let you know. And if you don't know, make sure you click like and subscribe. Click to receive your notifications for when we do get on. We will have more of all of these beautiful people on to help recap us. Drew's sweating already because he knows we're gonna be
an intense season.
Yes, it's gonna be an intense season. We're really excited. So make sure that you click like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments who are your top picks. Okay, let us know who you think is going to go far and who do you think is going to go first boots. We'll put that on our Girl Let's Agree to Disagree Twitter. Maybe do a little poll so we can kind of see who was right, who's wrong. I wrote down each and every one of y'all's. I'm going to post it, and we're going to come back and reconvene and see if we're right, because I wouldn't know when the first boot is gonna.
I don't know. It throws me off that it's not like a weekly schedule a bit. So I will just have to stay on top of it, because I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll probably. I feel like they'll probably have to do an eviction every 2 to 3 days, right?
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna go. It's gonna go pretty. Fast. It's gonna go pretty fast. And to be quite honest, this is gonna be the first Celebrity Big Brother that I actually watch live in live time and on feeds, so I really have no clue how this is going to work. And Tana, this is going to be your first live feed session with Celebrity BB. Are you feeling any sort of ways?
No, I am so excited to be on the other end of things, even though Celebrity BB isn't the same thing as regular BB, because it's so much shorter and everyone's already familiar with the house guests. But this is my first time watching a season of Big Brother in real time. My first time being a live feeder. I got to experience the BB the preseason BB Twitter, and that was insane. So I'm just really excited.
Let's wait until 24. It gets even worse.
I'm so excited.
You should do it like with us when we do Canada, because we'll be doing for Big Brother Canada. I'm really excited about that one too, which will be in March.
Is there?
I'm trying to get. Drew doesn't want to do nothing with Big Brother Canada here.
Because I'm gonna see all these people in real life, and then I like it's the rating you'll see. It's such a weird.
Just be nice to them.
No,
you don't gotta say nothing. Shout
True.
out, trash
That's
him.
Not
fair.
true.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
People take
I
offense to
remember
everything.
I remember when they came out of the house and everyone was like, yeah, Brayden's pre-jury boot. That man's going home first.
Oh.
I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And you made it to the end.
Final
But
Tuesday.
is Canada's preseason BB Twitter as crazy
Oh
as
yeah.
Yeah?
Very aggressive. Very
Oh,
aggressive.
Yeah,
okay.
especially on like Stan Twitter. Of course on Stan Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm very excited to experience that as well.
Yes. So
I'm here
thank
for
you,
it.
everybody. I know we're all here for it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to all of our guest hosts today. Thank you for coming on with me. I hope to see you all next week as well. You are all welcome back. And yeah, we will see you next week. Love y'all. See you later. And if I can actually get off. Bye.
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 Did I?
Come on,
Wait,
Jess.
am I still on?
Hey.
I thought I did. Okay, again. Bye, y'all.